On this episode of the Ruddy Brew, I want to discuss the meaning of the word ready. I was recently challenged by a viewer, so I decided that the best thing to do, instead of trying to argue about it, is to go ahead and make a case. So, ready. What does it mean? Does it imply white skin? Does it imply black skin? Does it imply skin at all? Well, of course, I want to talk about it. So let's go.
This demonstration will show the procedures and techniques used by the operator.
Welcome to the Ruddy Brew. My name is T. Edge, aka King Beaker for the Brew. And today, as I've already mentioned, we're going to be discussing the word ready. So to start things off, I want to go with this Bible verse. Lamentations chapter 4 verse 7, and it reads, Her Nazarites were purer than snow, they were whiter than milk, they were more ruddy in body than rubies, their polishing was of sapphire, their visage is blacker than a coal, they are not known in the streets, their skin cleaveth to their bones, it is withered, it is become like a stick. That was actually Lamentations 4, 7, and 8. But when it comes to this word ready, of course, we know in this connotation, it has an understood meaning to be red. But the red is not to be seen as the color of a rose. And we're definitely going to get to that later. But let's look and see what this word ready derives from. In the Strong's, it's Hebrew word H119, the word Adam or Adam. And the definition is to be red, to be ruddy of Nazarites, to be rubbed red, dyed red, reddened, to cause to show red, to glare, to emit redness, to redden, to grow red, or to look red. And then there's an extended definition that says to show blood in the face, that is flush or turn rosy, be dyed, made, or red, ready. So this definition, for many, because of this society we live in, this Western culture, this Western translation of the scripture, gives an impression of a person being white skinned or lighter skinned, like Caucasian people, more so like the people that are from Western countries, Near Eastern countries, where the people are lighter skinned but they start growing more dark. When we hear this word ready, we are given the connotation of white-skinned people who you can see the blood under their skin. But I am here to challenge that. Whenever you look up the word ready, if you type in a Google search for the word ready, you're going to come back with brown things. Ready animals are different shades of brown, such as cows, ducks, horses. These things you will find, but when you type in ready people, you will always come back with white-skinned people who have red cheeks, well, more like pink cheeks, or pinkish red noses, where they're flushed. But nonetheless, let us look at some historical context for this word ready. In the book History of the Jews by Professor H. Grates, Volume 2,
published by Philadelphia's The Jewish Publication Society of America in the year 1902. On page 492, at the bottom, it reads, "In opposition to the conservative Janina stands Jochanan bar Napacha, born 199, died 279. Deprived of both father and mother, he died in his early youth. He used to say in later life that he ought to be thankful for this misfortune, as he would not have been able to fulfill the strict duties of filial love in the manner required by the law. He was so handsome a figure that the Talmudical source, usually so sober, involuntarily becomes poetical in trying to describe his beauty. Let him who desires to form an idea of Jochanan's beauty take a newly wrought silver goblet, fill it with ruddy garnets, crown its brim with a wreath of red roses, and place it between light and shadow. Its peculiar reflection of light will then represent the glory of Jochanan's dazzling beauty. This beauty, however, partook more of a feminine character, for he possessed no beard, the expression of manly dignity. His eyebrows were also so long as to overshadow his eyes." So typically, when we think of rabbis, we have this image in our minds, light skin with a white beard. But this reading in the history of the Jews gives us a different depiction of a rabbi when it describes Rabbi Jochanan. It says, one, that he is ruddy. It says that it compares him to a ruddy garnet or ruddy garnets. It also throws in there to imagine that in comparison to a wreath of red roses, so as to distinguish ruddy from the word red. And just as a small caveat, I wanted to also read that he did not have a beard, because it's often assumed that all rabbis grow beards because of this imagery that we're given today. But let's look a little further into this definition or this depiction of what ruddy garnets are.
Add the ruddy brew. That's because a person with heavy melanated skin can't be seen blushing or blanching. Too much melanin in the skin to see the blood turn the skin red. This is called flushing. That's why it's associated with white skin, because heavy melanated skin cannot see that happen. Being that we all pretty much think we have a handle on what the word ruddy means, especially going off this comment here, let's look at the next word, the word garnets. Maybe the word garnets will give us a better understanding of this word ruddy as we dive into this descriptive term. So, the depiction in the literature speaks of wine in a goblet, and he calls it garnets. The term garnet is indeed red, but it looks brown. Some may even say burgundy. But then there's the retort that rubies are also descriptive of this term ruddy. Of course, if you use the word ruddy to mean red, then it could be said that rubies come in a few different shades of red. But garnet gems are brown looking with its red color peering through. Essentially, I can say that I have been wrong in saying that ruddy means brown, because ruddy does mean to see the blood through the skin, but it speaks to a greater degree of dark skin with the color red being able to be seen, or at least the perception of blood. So when it comes to the description of skin, does it mean a non-melanated individual or one who is heavily melanated? Here, we have the chief rabbi of Shabbat Israel. Would you describe him as having a ruddy complexion, similar to a garnet? No. Maybe you're of the camp that would say that the color must reference the original inhabitants of the land, the Iraqis. Would you describe these individuals as being garnet colored? No? Who else can we consider? How about the Igbo people that many African Americans descend from. Do these people seem to be the color of garnet? Why, yes they do. This stone armandine garnet is the red variety of garnet, but it looks like a very dark brown. So could it be that the armandine garnet could be ruddy garnet, as described in our passage from History of the Jews? When the word armandine is looked up in the dictionary, the Cambridge Dictionary doesn't even have a definition, but Webster's Dictionary gives the derivative almandite and defines it as a deep red garnet. The Encyclopedia Britannica says that it is a violet-colored variety of ruby spinel or an iron aluminum garnet, which is the most abundant of the garnets. What immediately popped in my mind is how in the black community we say that a very dark-skinned person is called purple, blurple, or so black that he or she is blue. Again, in describing the rabbi, it says to take a newly made silver wine cup and fill it with these ruddy garnets and crown its brim with a wreath of red roses. The goblet and wreath likely referencing his clothing and headwear. So let's do one more eye test, because people always argue that the Jews likely look like the Iraqi people. Do these people look like the almandine, aka red garnet, aka ruddy garnets? No. How about these people, the Igbos of Nigeria? Again, I say it must be the Igbos of Nigeria. So, again, I stand corrected. The word ruddy does indeed mean red, but the semblance of red showing through dark skin more so than what is known as white skin today. So before I get out of here, I do want to touch on this idea that dark-skinned or melanated people can't blush or blanch. There was an actual study done by the Department of Psychology at the Morehead State University in Morehead, Kentucky. And it was assisted by the Department of Psychology at the University of California. And it was conducted in around the year 1991. The title of the paper was, Does Complexion Color Affect the Experience of Blushing? The last sentence on the title page says, experiences which do not directly involve visibility, such as the frequency, ease, latency, and duration of blushing, show no differences. So we can't run around saying that black people can't blush or blanch. There's also a table that shows that black people do indeed change colors, some of us anyway, change colors when we blush. And likewise, there are some white people who do not change color when they blush. So again, you can't just go around throwing these statements around like they're statements of fact. Next time, do a little research. But nonetheless, it's time for me to get out of here. So what do you think? Did I get it right? And you need to rethink the indoctrination? Or do you think that I got it wrong and you believe that the indoctrination is good? No matter what you think, leave some comments down below. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell. Until the next time, thank you for hanging out with the Ruddy Booth. Peace. Greatness got to achieve it. Ideas we believe in. Positive mind, gotta reach it. Put an effort to bring forth this new being. You're not consumed by the lust for things, but knows that his worth is determined by words and deeds. Your mind is affected by words and deeds. Your thoughts are keys to what you're trying to see, and what you're trying to see should be to reach your goals. Hold on to your dreams. Keys open doors. Since you can't always choose circumstances, make sure to choose your thoughts wisely. Choose advancement. Work towards the future. Now's your chance, kid. Accept responsibility. Avoid resentment. Actions always take root from what you think about. Things ain't going your way. It ain't hard to figure out. Why? Why? Ask why. Ain't gotta tell you. It's right in front of your eyes. So in following these principles, you'll find along the road you're the only one responsible for your soul. It's no coincidence. Take control of your life. No coincidence. It's no coincidence. You take control. No coincidence. It's no coincidence.
shells are highly prized. And this one is occupied by a sarcastic fringe head.